Hello and welcome to Brew Banter, a new podcast for Backflip Baseball presented by me, Local Pods, the new GM of the Milwaukee Brewers. A little bit more about me. Turns out I'm actually a Milwaukee Brewers fan, so very excited to take over my favorite team. It's always a little conflict of interest, not really the right word, but uncomfortable at times if I try to manage the Brewers kind of just in-game with like the players that are on the team currently. It's hard at times to kind of disconnect emotionally from, okay, do I really think Caleb Durbin should be on the team? Do I need to try to trade Garrett Mitchell? That's not the case in this. We're starting the 2050 season. Just had opening day. The Brewers went 2-1 against the Cincinnati Reds. Pretty exciting. None of these players exist. None of these players are probably even born right now. Again, we're 2026 barely. So players 2050, they'd have to be really, really young right now. Not a problem to really think about in terms of are they even in the organization for the Brewers right now. So easy to take over. Happy to take over my favorite team, the Brewers. Let's dive into what I kind of also want to talk about with this podcast. Mainly it's going to be looking at, okay, hey, how are the Brewers doing? We just went 2-1 against the Reds. We lost opening day. Out the door went undefeated season right off the bat. Can't go undefeated. Okay, it is what it is. Came back, won the next two games. Finished the series 2-1. Good start for the division. We finished just under 500 last year. The goal is probably to try to stay around 500 again. That's what our owner wants us to do as well, as much as an owner goal really matters in this, especially in an online league. But happy to have joined the league. Been here for just about a week, it looks like so far. We just got through the offseason and spring training. Made some acquisitions, hopefully improved the team a little bit. We'll see. But what else are we going to talk about? Maybe a little bit of history of the team within the league. I'll go back through former drafts, see how some of the draft picks are doing. For example, we have one pick from the last 10 drafts, I think, 5 drafts. What is Fultz from? From the last, I think, 5 drafts I was looking at. But Gabe Fultz was a draft pick for the Brewers in 2045. Yeah, so like the last 5 drafts, we've had 2 players who have accrued some sort of major league WAR. Fultz is our current shortstop, and he actually was able to hit a home run in this first series. He only had 2 hits, so his batting average is below 200, but his OPS is just a shade under 800. Overall, not too bad. His WRC plus is 117 3 games into the year. That's great. But we'll see, okay, hey, how many of these other drafts have produced any major league players? Do we think any of them are going to make the team in the future? We'll look at that a little bit. We'll look at, once we start kind of really progressing in the current draft, the 2050 draft has started, but very early on, we've had 1 or 2 picks made. Congrats to the early GMs who have made their picks. They looked good, but maybe dive in a little bit more to what did I like or what didn't I like about the picks that I was able to make for the 2050 draft, plans I have for development from there on out. Look at maybe the minors a little bit to see, okay, hey, do I need to add or subtract players? Do I need some more pitchers? Do I need some more position players? A couple different teams that I've inherited over the years have had sparse minor leagues on one side or the other. You ask the AI to briefly set up your minor league system, and then you jump through the different teams, and it's like, oh, hey, this pitching staff has 13. You go down to your next one. This one has 13. This one has 12. You jump over to your lineups and 20, 18, 22 players. Why do you have all these position players but not nearly as many pitchers? Kind of makes me scratch my head. I've seen it the other way too, where you've got 18, 19, 20 pitchers and you've got like 3 people on the bench for your batters. You want to be able to rotate probably at least a little bit, just so that folks don't get hurt, like from fatigue. So I need to go through, kind of prune the minor league system a little bit, see who I want to keep, who do I think can maybe be let go, and then try to bring in new talent, whether that is through the draft, through minor league free agent signings. Haven't made a trade yet in Batflip Baseball, but very early days. Not really sure where I think Milwaukee is sitting. Do they try to compete? Do we need to do a rebuild? We're 3 games into the 2050 season. Does it really matter? I'm not sure yet, but the big thing is really just kind of trying to figure that out. Otherwise, maybe recap how the week has gone, the Sims. It's a weird lineup of, okay, we're going to have regular season Sims every day during the week. So that's 4 or 5 Sims every week, kind of depending on commissioner availability. 7-day Sims, you get through a month probably every week. I'm not going to try to do a podcast episode more than once a week, and doing one every week at times is going to be tough too. So we look with episodes, okay, hey, how did the most recent Sim go? How has the last month gone? I think that'll kind of depend on how the season is going. Do I see anything interesting to call out and discuss? That'll vary episode to episode probably, but kind of have to wait and see how that goes. But definitely for this first one, we've had 3 games played. Might as well look at how they've gone. Something interesting to call out right away. We had 2 games that we won, 1 game that we lost. Again, we lost opening day, oh darn, whatever. Second baseman Joel Lopez, 26 years old, rookie, did hit his first home run in these first 3 games. He had 2 hits, like Gabe Fultz, just over these first 3 games. One of them was a homer. It was a solo shot. 103.8 exit velocity, pretty good. Still only distance of 386 feet. There's not really a physics engine in OOTP, so it's just kind of, oh, hey, he hit it in this direction, so we know it's a home run. We'll put this EV on it, and therefore this distance, which is really just based off the dimensions in the park. Not super exciting, but is what it is. Fascinating to see that this was the first pitch of an inning off of Manny Linares that Lopez took deep. Great to see him get off to a good start. Good to see a variety of people hitting home runs. We're not relying on 1 or 2 people to hit dingers. Jesse Farquharson only had 1 home run for us, but easily had the best 3-game outing against the Reds. Went 6 for 12, so batting average of 546 actually, so probably 6 for 11 with a walk. 1 home run, 4 RBIs, no stolen bases, but that's okay. He's a third baseman. We don't expect him to do much. Got Josh Granger, our newly acquired catcher, went 3 of 10, no walks, 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. So those 2 guys are our 2 OPSs above 1,000. They're even both at or above 1,200. Chris Felin was our Felin? 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 I'm not sure. But he went 4 for 11. Batting average of 364. Pretty exciting. Only 1 RBI, no dingers. OPS of 818. Nice outing from him. And again, Gabe Fultz only had 2 hits in his 12 plate appearances, so batting average of only 182. But one of his 2 hits, like Lopez, was a home run. Solo shot to bring in just the 1 RBI that he had so far. But nice to see Fultz at least get to a good start. We'll see how long he's the starting shortstop for the Brewers. Yes, he was a first-round pick in 2045, but he's maybe league average. We'll see. If his glove can stay good or even improve, he'll stay around a little bit longer just to be able to keep the infield defense up. But it's hard to keep somebody around with a 182 average. He's fine looking at the last couple of seasons. He had a full season up with the Brewers last year where he hit 228, 272, 342 for a 614 OPS. It's a WRC plus of 63. He had 1.78 WAR. That is basically all bumped up by his fielding stats. He played 152 games at shortstop, had a range factor of 4.35, defensive efficiency of 1.079, and a zone rating of 19.67. So really all dependent upon him playing good defense. He won the Gold Glove at shortstop last year. He did the same thing in AAA with San Antonio in 2048. There's a chance he does it again this year. But what's going to keep him on the team is going to be keeping a decent bat. WRC plus of 117 would be amazing. A WRC plus of 85 would be nice. Being 15% below league average and having the glove that he has, I'd be very happy with that. But I need a little production out of him. I don't really want to have him sitting in my 8th or 9th spot and not doing anything out there but gobbling up ground balls on defense. So we'll see. Very early days, but it'd be nice to see a little more offensive production out of him. Have to wait and see. Otherwise, happy with how Lopez did. Getting his first home run is cool. but is he somebody I want to try to keep around long term? I'm not sure. 26 versus 27, 28, almost how Fultz is. But Lopez is, again, somebody who probably is more of a fielder than a slugger, but there's a chance he could be a decent batter. He's definitely going to probably stay on the first base side of the infield. His arm is probably league average. He's got good range and can certainly handle a double play turn, but he's definitely not shortstop material, especially when compared to Fultz. But good to see somebody else come up and do okay. Had no experience in the major leagues before this season. Played 130 games in AAA last year. Had a WRC plus there of 108. Almost 3.5 WAR. Mind you, AAA, and probably, again, boosted some by his fielding stats. But see what happens. Keep Lopez around to at least man second base for a while. Looking at free agent acquisitions. So I joined the team and took over the team just after the new year in game. So like January 5th, I think, just about. And we had the Rule 5 draft was kind of the first thing that we went through. We, I believe, acquired one player. This is always fun. You try to scroll back through what happened here. This says we didn't draft anybody. This is a great podcast. But yeah, we didn't pick anybody. We lost 3 players in the draft. I didn't really see anybody that I knew I wanted to bring in. Again, this is right off the bat. Okay, hey, who do I want to acquire or not? First signing that technically happened under my team control was signing center fielder Tommy Campbell to a 7-year contract worth almost $175 million. That's a lot of money. That's a long time to sign somebody 2 weeks into having taken over the team. On the other hand, Campbell's only got where is this? This is always fun too. Campbell is 29, so probably slightly past his prime. We'll see. Last season, he played in Pittsburgh, played 152 games, hit 293 with a 429 slug, WRC plus of 120 for 5.2 WAR. Definitely a great player to have. Very excited to keep him around. Easily his contract year performance, 5.2 WAR. Previous high was 4.3 back in 2045 when he was 4 years younger. Do I think I'm going to get 5 WAR production? Do I think I'm going to get 4.5 WAR production? Probably not. I'll be happy getting 3.5 to 4. We're paying him $26.4 million a year. It'd be nice to get 3 WAR. Then you're paying just over $8 million per WAR on a free agent contract. The other interesting thing is Campbell's got $26.4 million in 2050, the same amount of money in 2051, and then between the 2051 and the 2052 season, he has a player opt-out. If he overperforms, and if he accrues 10 WAR over these 2 seasons, I'll be very happy with that. He'll be 31 years old. He will probably opt out. He can go sign an even better contract with somebody else. But for 2 seasons, if I get 10 WAR out of a center fielder, that'd be awesome. Paying under $30 million a year, yes, please. Take that any day of the week. As I mentioned, we also signed Josh Granger. Granger is probably going to be catching a little bit, probably fielding some. He started in the field all 3 games against the Reds, but yeah, he's probably a little bit better than the acquisition, Bobby Jimenez, that the AI made for me before I took over. Jimenez is getting paid $16 million over 4 years, so he's definitely more of a slugger. We'll see if that actually pays off. He did hit 286 over 2 games, but very early. I'm happy having signed Josh Granger. He is easily an above average defensive catcher. Signed him for $7 million a year. For $7 million, $5 million, and $5 million with a player option for 2052. Getting 2 or 3 WAR out of him for those 2 years will be great. If he stays for a third, okay, cool. If not, he'll be 32, and that's fine. Otherwise, I did sign Bobby Trant, who started game 2 of the season for us against the Reds. No, he started game 3, I'm sorry. Went 6 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. That run was earned, and went 9 Ks, 2 walks. Very exciting. Overall, looking at this game, the Brewers came out and we scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Great way to start off the third game of the series. We're a little unsure of, okay, hey, do we have the offense to do anything? First 2 games, I think, were 1-run games, 2-run games, and we didn't score very many runs. 2 runs in the bottom of the first, that's awesome. Another run in the bottom of the fourth, and in the bottom of the fifth, and then the 7th and the 8th. That's as many runs, that's 5 innings in which we scored, 3 innings in which we didn't. Very happy with that. 6 runs overall. Very exciting. Happy to see that. Trant, good acquisition, I think. Probably a league average starter overall, but 28 years old. Can he find a little bit of something more with his stuff to be maybe a little more strikeout friendly? I'll take 9 Ks over 6 innings any day of the week. That's great. But can he do a little bit more? We'll have to wait and see. He spent a lot of time here in Milwaukee. Spent the last 3 seasons as well as this one coming up. Pretty happy with how he did. 2 WAR the last 2 years and just 1/2 WAR at his age 25 season in 2047. Came up with the Nats. Looked better in his second season than he did in his first, but either way, they were 30 innings that he roughly did both times. Only started 1 game between those 2 seasons. Came over to Milwaukee and has started 30-plus games the last 3 years. Can he do that again? That'd be great. If I'm paying him less than $10 million and he gives me 30 starts and they're above average or slightly at average, that's fine. I'm really, really happy with that. He signed an extension, actually. He didn't actually sign a free agent deal. That's fine. But we'll see what happens. I'm happy to keep him around. Happy that he will stay with the organization for another year or 2. Looking at any other big transactions that I want to talk about. Of course, this is just a normal one. Again, this is a great podcast when I'm reading through the transactions reports and hitting my microphone stand. But kind of is what it is. Not really sure what I wanted to talk about for this first episode, but kind of is what it is. Looking at other acquisitions, again, Granger we signed to a 3-year deal. We signed Chris Feline to a 3-year deal worth total of $36 million. So AAV of $12 million. If I get 2 WAR, 2.5 WAR, that'd be great. We'll see what happens. Juan Valenzuela, 3-year contract, total of $42 million. So these are 2 outfielders that signed on the same day, beginning of February 2050. Valenzuela, darn good looking defensive outfielder. Can he do enough at the plate to kind of be worth it keeping him around? His first 6 years in Cleveland, he had 1 really good year, 6 WAR almost in 2045, but otherwise, can he do enough to kind of stay on the field and keep a starting role? He had a 110 OPS, a 113 OPS, and a 108 OPS plus the last 3 seasons in Cleveland. If I can get close to that, that'd be great. He's really kind of here to play defense, but didn't get any hits so far in his 2 games against the Reds. Not a great start, so a negative 0.2 WAR for him so far in 2 games. Not what you want to see. Again, let's jump over to Chris Feline, also a 30-year-old lefty who's probably going to be mainly maining left field for me, but has a really good arm. Happy to see that. Range and air don't quite matter as much in left field, but kind of see what happens. He's getting paid $10 million this year. He's got 4 hits, 1 double, 1 RBI, 1 strikeout, no walks so far. Can he do a little bit better than he did certainly last year in Detroit, where he hit 236, 298, 391 for a WRC plus of 82? Gosh, I hope so. Everything else he's had has been at least kind of a 120 WRC plus. If he has that again, be very, very happy. Be a productive left fielder for us. But that season in Detroit last year definitely probably depressed his market. We'll see what happens. That's why he signed in February and not early January. But see what happens. Can he stay healthy? He had a couple of injuries, it looks like, in 2048. 2049 for him was healthy, but just didn't really do much with the Tigers. Only played 121 games. So Can he get a little more appearances in with me? Can he do a little better? I kind of have to wait and see. Overall, that's kind of what I think this episode will look like. Maybe that'll be kind of the format in general. I don't know. We've got a lot of time to figure that out. Certainly not going to put more than one episode out a week, so we will have more games to talk about come next episode. But I think for now, we'll call it an episode. Again, my name is Loco Pobbs. I'm the new GM of the Brewers. We are Brew Crew Banter. Happy to talk about the Brewers. Happy to talk about the 2050 season. Here's to hopefully more wins in today's sim than 2. Be nice to go 4-3, go 5-2. I think I have 7 games. I might not. Be nice to win more games than lose. That's always fun to do kind of whenever. But this season is really, really early. We're going to try to be above 500, be at 500. No reason to try to tank yet, I don't think. So good luck in the draft, everybody. Hopefully I get to make a pick before timers start on Thursday. Otherwise, keep it tuned to the feed. This should be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If it is not on your podcast platform of choice, please let me know and I will work to get it added. I think it's on YouTube as well. So keep an eye out for that. I will drop links in the appropriate channel. And keep it posted, folks. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. Otherwise, again, I am Loco Pobbs, the GM of the Milwaukee Brewers. Have a fantastic day. Stay warm out there, folks. There's been a lot of winter weather. Hopefully, folks are staying warm, staying dry. Keep the snow cleared. Have a fantastic day, everybody.